Welcome to the True Man Podcast. This is an invitation to radical reconstruction of a man's masculine heart and soul in a place of safe community where we dare to ask questions deep seated in a man's soul and explore ways to help you become a better man, a better son, a better dad, and a better spouse. Well, thank you for being with me here again today on the True Man Podcast. Love having you here. Love having you support the show. The book, let's talk about the book right off the bat. The book, True Man, True Ways, a roadmap of discovery to the masculine heart. Hey, you could get your dad a late Father's Day gift. Sure. Just go out to my website, truemanlifecoaching.com. Go out to the book tab and you will find the book listed there. You can buy that thing straight from the website, get it sent right to your front door so you can begin working on yourself and learning about how to become true man. I thoroughly enjoyed writing that, and man, I may be working on some other stuff as well. That is future conversation for sure. But thank you for being with me here today. You know, we are fresh off Father's Day, as I mentioned, and so, you know, this idea of fatherhood is right there on the tippy top of my mind. Really, it always is. But, you know, I thought, let's have a little bit more conversation about fatherhood today and talk about our pursuit to be the best men that we can be, the best fathers, the best husbands. And so I want to talk more about fatherhood today and the pursuit of greatness that I would like to think that we're all on, that pursuit of greatness of, you know, how do I be the best man, the best father that I can be? Because sometimes it feels elusive, doesn't it? It feels elusive, like a lot of other situations in life. Doesn't it just feel sometimes like being a good father is like being on a scavenger hunt? You know, you're searching for answers. You chase the quote unquote right way to do things. You piece together advice from books, from blogs, from podcasts, all the while really wondering if you're doing any of it right. Is that you? Do you ever ask yourself those questions? You know, nobody hands you a playbook when you get married. No one gives you a manual when your child is born. You didn't walk out of the hospital holding a newborn in one hand and a detailed instruction guide in the other. In fact, when our first son was born, he was actually born on December 23rd, and I distinctly recall my wife and I sitting in the family room looking at each other after we got home from the hospital going, now what? Yeah, maybe you've experienced something similar. And unlike your car, you know, your kid doesn't come with a user manual. There's no lifetime protection plan or extended warranty to cover the things that you get wrong or that come up, right? Fatherhood is really kind of trial by fire. And fresh off another Father's Day, maybe that hits a little harder than you want it to. Maybe you're wondering, am I doing enough? Am I being the man that my family needs? Don't we all ask those questions from time to time? But here's the truth. You're not alone. And you were never meant to do this without help. In reality, the real manual from fatherhood is written by the author of life himself. Your heavenly Father is your model, your guide, your covering, and, you know, Jesus Christ's walk on earth presents some pretty good example on how to father. Now, whether you're a first-time dad, a seasoned father, or of adult children, or a man who's still waiting on the call to fatherhood, you have a purpose. And God is still writing your fatherhood story. Now, Psalm 127, chapter 3 says this: children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from him. How about that? Have you ever thought about that? That means that your child is not an accident or an inconvenience. They are a gift, something special from God. And your role in that is to serve as their earthly father. And with every calling comes challenges, though, doesn't it? You will mess up. You probably figured that out already. You will miss moments. You will say something that you regret. But if you're willing to pursue your child's heart the way your Father in heaven pursues yours, you'll be exactly what they need to be, what they need for sure. So let's stop pretending fatherhood is easy. I don't know too many guys that pretend that fatherhood is easy, but let's not pretend that it is. You get tired. You feel pressure to provide. You wonder if you're messing up your kids sometimes. You second guess your decisions. You battle guilt, past mistakes. You wrestle with not knowing how to fix what's broken. Is that you? You ever had any of those things pop up in your life? And for the dads with grown kids, maybe the hardest part is wondering how to reconnect when time and distance have widened the gap. But whatever stage you're in, the truth really remains. You're not expected to father perfectly, just faithfully. And that faithfulness really begins by following the Father, having faith in your heavenly Father. So let me tell you a story real quick. You know, I like to tell stories. There was a man named Kevin. He didn't have a strong example of fatherhood growing up. His dad left when he was 8. And so when he had his own son, Tyler, Kevin made a promise. My kid will never have to wonder if I love him. But over the years, life gets busy, right? Kevin's career took off, church responsibilities piled up, and Tyler, well, he started pulling away, especially in middle school. Fewer conversations, less laughter, and less connection. One day, Kevin got an email from the school. Tyler was a starting pitcher in a big baseball game, and Kevin meant to go. He meant to go, but a work meeting is something that he couldn't miss, and it got in the way. That night, he asked his son, "How did the game go?" And Tyler just shrugged it off. "It's fine. It was fine." Kevin felt a knot in his gut. And later that night, he asked his wife, "Do you think I've been showing up for him?" And she paused and said, "I think you've been around, but I don't think he feels like you've been with him." Ouch. Zinger between the eyes? You bet. Sometimes we need it, don't we? Well, the next day, Kevin drove to the empty baseball field. He sat on a bench behind home plate and he wept. Not because he was a bad dad, it was because he realized he'd been absent from the moments that mattered. Now, from that day on, Kevin changed. He restructured his schedule, he prioritized his connection. He started showing up, not just for the big things, but for everything. He listened more, laughed more, and prayed with his son more. Now, years later, Tyler was asked in a college interview after a ball game, "Who's your hero? Who's your hero?" And he said, "My dad, because when I needed him to turn around, he did." Isn't that what it's all about? Isn't that what it's all about? And that's really the edification I think that we're looking for from our children too. You know, fatherhood isn't about knowing it all. It's about knowing the one who does. And you don't need to figure out everything. You just need to walk closely with your heavenly Father and let your children see him through you. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10 says this, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. Right there. Boom. That's the model. That's the covering. That's the standard, isn't it? So no matter what season you're in, you may be going, help me out here, Mike. Help me out. Here's some powerful truths about raising toddlers that are really, men in waiting in that moment and fathering adult kids and trying to finish well. Here are some things that I hope you can think about that will potentially help you be fully present. Present really is not about performance. You don't want to just be there. You want to be with them. Put the phone down. I know what I just said. Put the phone down. Lock eyes. Listen. Laugh. Your child would rather have your attention than your perfection. Young dads, tuck-ins and reading stories matter more than toys. Friendly piece of advice. Future dads, practice presence in your friendships and your marriage. And fathers of adult kids, a simple text or lunch goes a long way. Don't underestimate the little things. We're going to cover a lot of territory here. Live with what you preach. Integrity is caught, not taught. Your kids are watching, not just what you say, but how you live. Honor, humility, faith, discipline. Let your life reflect what you want them to believe. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 7, the righteous man walks in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. Now, here's a good one. Respect your mother. Respect their mother. Whether you're together, divorced, or remarried, respect the mother of your children. Honor her in front of them. Never make your kids choose between loyalty and love. Kids don't just hear what you say. They absorb how you treat their mom. And they'll follow that model. Delight in your kids. Celebrate them. Enjoy them. Be goofy with them. Be available. Smile when they walk in the room. My personal favorite is just to flat out try to embarrass them. But that joy speaks louder than discipline ever will. So for my future fathers, practice being someone who can celebrate others without needing credit. Discipline with love. Discipline is not punishment, guys. It's training. Set boundaries with grace. Create trust and correct without crushing. I'm going to repeat that. Correct without crushing. In Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6 reminds us that the Lord disciplines those he loves, not to shame, but to shape. Listen with intention. You don't have to be a fixer, guys. We are great at this, but don't always fix. Don't always lecture. In fact, spend a lot of time listening. Let your children feel heard, safe, and understood. Start with simple questions. How's your heart? What's been on your mind lately? Just show you care. Next, speak words that build. Tell them, I love you. I'm proud of you. Not once, not on their birthdays, daily. Out loud, in notes, over dinner. Words shape an identity. Don't leave anything unsaid. Don't be that guy. Give your time generously. Time really is your greatest currency. You need to prioritize it, protect it, and spend it like it matters, because it does. Those small moments become their core memories. May not feel like it in the moment sometimes, but man, they will not forget. Every bedtime story, every ball game, every coffee date, it's all a part of the legacy that you are building. Be their protector. Create safety, emotionally, spiritual, physical. Let them know dad's here. Dad's steady. Dad's got me. Sometimes protection means stepping in. Sometimes it means stepping back and letting them try. Finally, support who they are. Your child is not a second chance at your dream. They're not here to fulfill your unmet expectations. Let them become who God created them to be and cheer for them like crazy. If your son paints instead of playing football, show up at the art show with a grin. If your daughter leads a startup instead of teaching school, learn the business. Tell her she's brave. Finally, as I begin to close out today, just you've heard me say this. There's no such thing as a perfect dad, but there is a faithful one, and that's who your family needs. Lean into your Heavenly Father, learn from Him, ask Him for wisdom, and let Him reshape your heart as you shape theirs. Now, maybe you're in a good season. Maybe you're in a rebuilding one. Maybe you're just getting started. Whatever the case, it's not too early and it's not too late. Your kids don't need you to be a hero. They just need you to be there and to keep showing up. And here is the good news. You don't have to do it alone. Your Heavenly Father is there for you. And as you commonly hear me say, seek out a group of men to get around. It's amazing how when you get around a men's group on a weekly basis or however often that you can meet, where you can meet another man who's gone through something similar or the same or is on that walk with you. I'll tell you, it can take you out of a tailspin to know that support is there and available. And again, like I do every week, if you'd like to talk more about this, if you're feeling a little isolated as a father, as a dad, feel free to reach out to me. Just send me an email at mike@truemanlifecoaching.com. You can go out to my website. My calendar is available. And schedule some time to have that initial one-on-one. And who knows where it will lead. But the point is, sometimes you just need to talk with another man to talk through these things. So I encourage that. So thank you for being with me again this week. So glad to sit here and talk a little bit about fatherhood and fathering. And my kids are now in their 20s. So I'm at a point where I'm starting to, I can reflect back and I'm realizing, hey, I've learned a thing or two about this deal. And as, of course, I've talked to a lot of men about fathering. And, after a while, you're able to put together a top 10 list like I just provided for you. But again, I hope you enjoyed this True Man podcast. And if you did, please, go ahead and give us a great review on your favorite podcast channel. And heck, send it to a friend. Send it to a friend who maybe is thinking about this fatherhood thing and it's weighing a little heavy on them. I would certainly appreciate that. And it's always helpful to help us grow the audience. Well, again, any questions, reach out to me at mike@truemanlifecoaching.com. Always happy to talk with you. And until next week, Thank you so very much for listening. Go out and make this your very, very best day ever. God bless.